Good morning and welcome to Mornings on Main Street for this Thursday, March 2nd. I'm your host, Stefanie Miller. Thanks so much for spending some of your time with us this morning. Coming up on today's show, reporter Chris Xiao introduces us to a nonprofit in Columbia, Tennessee that is working to build up youths in that area. I look forward to hearing what he has to share from there. Also, we are back in the kitchen with Devon and Sylvia today to talk Oh So Sweet Honey, what they have to share coming up in a few minutes. And then we take it over state lines to Hopkinsville, Kentucky. I know 99% of the time we are here in Tennessee, but today we are looking at the Alhambra Theater that is getting ready to celebrate 95 years. Our guest today will share with us what Alhambra Theater has to offer. But first, let's get a check of some of our headlines. An additional $3 million in city expenditures in Hendersonville will soon help pay for items like paving, a new fire engine, 10 new police cars, and increased compensation for the city's COO. This did pass unanimously on its first reading. You can hear more and learn more about the second reading by going to mainstreetmediatn.com. Well, this is exciting. Take a look. For the 22nd year, Clarksville will host the 2023 Miss Tennessee USA and Miss Tennessee Teen USA pageants at Austin Peay State University. This is happening March 9th through the 11th. Visit Clarksville Chairman Kyle Luther tells Main Street Clarksville that the city is thrilled and honored to welcome the Miss Tennessee USA pageant back to Clarksville again for the 22nd year. We are so excited to have everyone here in town. Well, in the life and community section of mainstreetmedia.com, look for the article 7 Tips to Get Your Body Ready for Spring. Now, this comes from Dr. Mark Kessner. Dr. Kessner shares why it pays to spend more time on preparing our bodies before our busy physical season of spring. You know, so many people get busy in the spring season doing a lot of different outside activities. Well, 2 of the 7 easy steps include drinking more water and then adjusting the alarm clock. We all need to check out all of the 7 tips. Read more on all stories and headlines by going to mainstreetmediatn.com. All right, let's find out what it's going to be like later on this afternoon with Justin Kulik, and also get maybe our fun fact for the day. Hey, Justin.
Hey, how are you? How you doing today, Stephanie?
Great. How are you?
I'm doing great, and I do have a fact, and I think it's pretty fun.
Okay.
But I'll let you be, and the audience be the judge of that. Did you know? I don't know why I have to read it like this. I feel like, but did you know that Tennessee was the birthplace of some Mountain Dew?
I did not.
Well, you do now.
The birthplace Mountain Dew. So that's now cotton candy and Mountain Dew.
Yeah, we should probably. Hopefully, it's carrots too. But I just haven't found that one yet.
I was gonna say 2 things that are bad for our teeth.
Exactly.
Thanks, Justin.
Your weather forecast for today is considerable. It's going to be cloudy all day. Occasional rain showers here and there. High of 66, as you see there. Winds not going to be too bad, but the chance of rain, like I said, 70% rain throughout the night. Going to go down to 59, and it's going to be thunderstorms. There's a chance of severe weather, but hopefully it misses Middle Tennessee area. But the chance of rain during that evening is 90%. So chances are we're going to be wet tomorrow.
Gotcha. Justin, thank you for that.
You're very welcome.
Building future leaders and nurturing their talents. That is the goal for a nonprofit in Columbia, Tennessee. Reporter Chris Xiao introduces us today to All Hands on Deck.
Thank you, Stephanie. And I did, in fact, have a chance to sit down with 2 of the finest folks in all of Columbia and Murray County who are doing worlds of good for the youth right here in their hometown.
All Hands on Deck, we started a few years ago just doing something as simple as community service, wanting to help folks redirect their lives. So we started doing expungements in the area as far as just helping people clean up their records so that they can have better future opportunities. And what we found in that is that we found some of those issues stem from youth involved issues. When they were 12, 13, 14, we saw a behavior pattern as far as where a lot of that stemmed from when they were 12, 13, 14. And so wanted to bridge that gap. And so we came up with the concept of Vision Academy, where we started a youth group to where we take preventative measures to keep that from actually happening.
Having their records expunged can mean different things for different people, and that is what All Hands on Deck is focused on bringing: a new lease on life for any and all who come through their service.
We saw folks being able to have better job opportunities, meaning that was able to help their families. We saw people being able to have better benefits, because we saw where, for instance, if you have a young lady that can't get government benefits because she has a previous flaw on her record, that may prevent her from being able to feed her kids and getting government benefits. So we're able to clear those hurdles and allow them to benefit and help their families. Voting rights, yes, voting rights being
Especially
restored.
voting rights. Yeah.
Some gun rights being restored.
Being able to be around their children again. I know a couple times where they had got their record cleaned. Some people was just being able to actually go out and do business or start a business, because they had previous records stopping them from being able to go in and I guess ask for business loans and stuff like that. So I know one instance, because when they come out the courtroom, I normally take their picture and video, and some people just share a couple things with me, what they really wanted to do or what they was doing it for, and some of that stuff was remarkable.
It's indescribable for me. I know I get emotional, so for me to see that that we're able to play a small factor in helping people change and to redirect their futures, and not just theirs, but their families. And to see a burden lifted, that's what we hear the most, is a burden that was lifted. Some having a burden lifted from when they were 18, 20 years old, and a 20-year burden, lifted, and being able to vote at the age of 40 and 50 years old for the first time. So what about you guys?
For me, it was about more of showing the youth boys, having helping them grow up to be, young men. Back in the day, we was always taught, to be a man, you got to take care of the women and children in your community. And somewhere down the line, that has been lost. So me personally, I just want to make sure that I get, young men to understand that concept of what it used to be back in the day of, being, taking care of the women and children in your community is part of being a man.
The focus, however, is on Maury County's youth, and what All Hands on Deck is doing is trying to get ahead of the problem.
Some of the ways, as far as one of our programs being able to train some of the youth with work ethic, giving them some of the skill and job skills that are needed for them to be able to go out and get jobs in today's society. Just
giving them basic life skills. Sometimes, the way the hustle and bustle is of today's world, a lot of parents are working a lot. So, teaching kids that you can come home, teaching them how to cook for themselves, teaching them how to take care of themselves, knowing basic skills in the kitchen,
basic math skills, finances.
Financing, financial literacy. Just like I said, basic life skills where they can be a better person, a better citizen for their community.
Leadership skills.
Yeah.
There are several ways they're doing that, including a brand new option, partnering with the local 4-H for a summer camp.
Well, we're partnering with our 4-H camp here, the Ridley 4-H camp here in Columbia, Tennessee. And it is our first year doing a camp with them and collaborating our program with the 4-H program. So it kicks off July 3rd. It's an overnight program. So we're really excited about that.
You can find them online at myahod.org or on Facebook at facebook.com/ahod.org. That's AHOD.org. Reporting from Columbia, I'm Chris Yao.
Chris, thank you. It's always a treat to get reports from you from Maury County. All right, stick with us here Mornings on Main Street. When we come back, we are in the kitchen with Devon and Sylvia. We'll be right back.
in Music City just hits different. It's one big honky-tonk party. It's the sea of gold in the crowd. The goals, the saves, the celebrations. It's an experience like no other. Don't miss a minute of the action this season. Visit NashvillePredators.com/tickets to get your seats today. That's NashvillePredators.com/tickets. And we'll see you at Bridgestone Arena.
Welcome back. So we're getting sweet this morning. Devon and Sylvia talk about honey during Devon's table. Here's what they have to say.
Welcome into another episode of Devon's Table, and it's sweet like honey. I'm Devon O'Day.
I'm Sylvia Ganier.
And you're sweet as honey, too.
Oh, honey.
You have a wonderful collection of... beekeeping is something that you are very fond of here at Green Door.
I am. We rely so much on our bees, not just honeybees, but bees and pollinators in general as farmers. And sometimes we forget about those hard-working things on the farm that, we're not getting the regular paycheck. They're just getting good things from the farm for the work that they do for us.
Right. It's so important. And, bees, for a while there, we had to really watch because bees were coming in and getting this terrible disease and they were dying. And so the Tennessee Beekeepers Association really went head to head trying to have healthy bees and take care of things.
And we still have to really nurture our bee population, whether it's the solitary bees, the leafcutters, or the mason bees, or our honeybees. One out of every 3 bites is because bees are pollinating what we eat.
Did you guys get that? 1 out of every 3 bites that we take has been pollinated by a bee. It's like because of a bee. Wow.
Your kids like carrots? No bees, no carrots.
Corn.
Really interesting.
Corn, And those beautiful flower gardens, wouldn't have those flower gardens without the bees.
No, not at all. And a bee's lifetime, this is their lifetime of work. 1 spoonful of honey, their entire life.
Wow. Well, if you want to find out about growing bees, we're going to be kind of unpacking the hive here on this show, but we're going to talk about the actual honey, why it's different colors, why honey doesn't taste the same. All honey is not the same.
No, it is not. As I have said many times, what you eat eats matters, and that's going to be the color, the flavor, the texture, all of those things with honey. And I'm a North Carolina mountain girl, and I adore sourwood honey. So I like honey that is a little less sweet. Most honey you find in the grocery store is a blend of clover honey and wildflower honey. Nothing wrong with it. It's delicious. But if I get to pick, I want one that is deeper and darker in color. This guy right here, you can see how much more amber in color it is. And even compared to this one, you can see there's a difference in that color. And then over here, this is more of a wildflower honey. See how bright?
Lighter, bright, yeah.
Is? And then here we have, this is a blackberry honey. So it's also much lighter in color as well. So we have all these different flavor profiles, and they're called sourwood because the bees are foraging the sourwood trees. They are foraging in blackberry glens, if you will, to get that particular pollen and take it back. And the honey is going to have that presence that's in there.
If you have heard about allergies being made better by having local honey, it's because usually the flowers that have the pollen that cause you to sneeze, if you consume the honey, it helps you develop an immunity to those things. That's why it works. So if you have allergies in Tennessee, don't go and sample Tupelo honey thinking it's going to work.
For your allergies.
For your allergies. No, it will taste really good. But because I like that Mississippi, that dark Mississippi honey that's up in the northern Mississippi. I just love that. What about this? Now I've seen honey like this. Now first of all, is this good honey?
So I have these two sitting side by side so you could kind of see the difference. A lot of people think that if honey crystallizes,
Right.
so it's a liquid honey, but it becomes a solid honey. Unintentionally. That's the key. Then they might think this honey has gone bad. Honey does not go bad unless it gets water or liquid in it, and then it ferments, and then you have mead.
Okay,
So-
but still not bad for you.
Not bad for you, but just be careful with,
Mm-hmm. Water, yeah.
So if I got honey like this that had crystallized, you can see where it is starting to make crystals and firm up all the way through the jar. What I would do with this is I would put it in a little bit of hot water, low temperature on the stove until it melts back to liquid form. That is really important to do low and slow, because if you heat it too hot, all the work that you have done to get that allergy relief, you're going to cook it right out. So you want it to stay raw and unfiltered. So if your honey is crystallized, you want it to be liquid, low and slow, and a bain-marie of water on the stove. That's different than creamed honey. This, you're actually buying it for the process that the beekeeper has. This is proprietary. He has the best creamed honey you will ever have.
And do you have that here at Green Door? Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes. As long as it lasts, because when the honey is done, that's it for the year. It's like a fine wine. It's a vintage. This is a vintage honey. And the process, he has figured out how to whip it numerous times, and it's smooth. You don't get the crystallized on your taste palate from crystallized honey that is firm versus this, which is just so smooth.
Hot biscuits.
And sister. I'm tasting it right now. I can't help it. So, creamed honey is great for spreading right on toast or whatever. No waste, and it's not as messy.
Well, and then we also have honeys that are infused honeys, where you might have a flavor that's infused. When we say blackberry honey, it doesn't mean it tastes like blackberries. Doesn't mean that. It's still honey. But you can infuse it with something like my friends from Louisiana, they're beekeepers down there, and they infuse Tabasco in. So it's a sweet, hot mix. Girl.
Kentucky bourbon honey. Have you ever had that?
No, but I'd like some right about now.
It's mighty good. I'll tell you. Lemon drop honey, chocolate honey. That's a thing.
Wow.
And so, yes, it's all really amazing stuff. Before we finish our sweet discussion here, I want to just also point out that we have honeycomb in honey.
Oh, can you eat honeycomb?
You can. It was chewing gum for the mountain folk for a long time.
Really?
Chewing gum, so you chew on your honeycomb. And of course, you use the beeswax. You can make candles and other things out of it too. So you don't see it as much in honey these days, and it actually is not good to take all the honeycomb away from the bees. So
No.
a little bit, fine. It's a great old-fashioned memory, but I typically like to leave the wax for the bees to refill and replenish from there.
And don't they nourish themselves with the honey they make as well?
Oh, yes. They have to overwinter. So if an apiist comes in and they take all the honey for the winter, then they're just going to have to feed them sugar water all winter long. That's not healthy for the bees. So we make sure when we're collecting honey from our property that we're leaving enough for the bees to be able to overwinter. It's a give and take. It's, you plant enough for the deer to eat when you're planting your kale. You have enough for the bees to eat when you're harvesting the honey.
I love it.
Devon and Sylvia, thank you both. Stick with us here on Mornings on Main Street. When we come back, we learn a little more about a theater right across state lines in Hopkinsville, Kentucky. We'll be right back.
Welcome to the Omni Nashville Hotel. Urban elegance with a vintage touch. Our 800-room hotel opened up in the fall of 2013 with 746 guest rooms and 54 suites.
Welcome back. 99% of the time we hit locations and happenings in Middle Tennessee and maybe in other areas of Tennessee. There's that 1% though that we get to look outside of the area. And I'm talking to other states like Kentucky right now, Hopkinsville, Kentucky.
That's right. We're neighbors.
We are neighbors. I have the executive director of the Pennyroyal Arts Council with us today. This is Margaret Prim, and she's talking to us about the incredible theater that is there in Hopkinsville. First off, thank you for your time.
Thank you so much for having me. It was just so lucky. I love coming to Clarksville, and we had the opportunity to be here today, and so we're really happy to be here. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. And this is a little bit of a last minute interview. When Margaret was speaking at a local Rotary club here in Clarksville at the Clarksville Rotary Club, their noon lunch, and I was like, I would love to share the theater and the fact that it's celebrating 95 years. It's the Alhambra Theater.
It's amazing.
It is amazing. 95 years is huge. And I want to say it was once said to be, and I'm looking at what you provided us, the most beautiful and practical theater in America.
That's right. Don't know really exactly where the beautiful I know. Practical, I'm not sure, but she is beautiful. And recently we've had a lot of work done to her because, you're 95, you need a little work, right? In 2018, we did a pretty major renovation. And just recently, during kind of a winter break, we were dark for about 30 days. We planned everything right and did a lot of maintenance on our green room or our dressing room area, and then just a lot of other bits and pieces around.
What sort of shows do you guys put on that we obviously don't know about? Because again, a lot of times we'll look here to Nashville for shows. What shows do you provide?
We provide this season. We'll have done over 200 events, so there's a lot going on right up the street. We do a live series. This year, there's 8 live shows in the series, so they're big shows that you would go to Nashville to see. We just had the Steel Drivers there, so if you're a bluegrass music, Chris Stapleton came from that band, so that's they're friends. But we're what they call multidisciplinarian. So we have jazz shows, we have dance. We had Ailey 2 this past season. We opened with Henry Cho, who's a comedian. So we have a little bit of something for everybody in our live season. We do special events. Last year we had Billy Bob Thornton that did a musical event for us, a fundraiser. So our next season we're getting ready to announce actually at our 95th birthday on June 3rd. So that's a little save the date. We're going to have a fun night that evening, going back in like total 1928 style and 20 style. So, on the other hand, another note that we do classic film. We also, one of our main missions is to educate children. Okay. So we do what we call the SMARTS program, Students Meeting the Arts. So we see over 15,000 students each year at the theater. We also bring shows, residencies into the school system and do things like that. We do like Shakespeare at the Park at our local community college. So we do a lot. We stay extremely, extremely busy. The theater really generates a lot of memories from the people that are from the area. Mm-hmm. A lot of people have their first dates there, and a lot of people that have moved away that come back and visit. So she's really kind of the catalyst of our downtown area.
Oh, I'd say so. When it comes to local theater and the public's or community support of their local theater, yes, no matter where you are, how is that important? And what have you guys seen in Hopkinsville that could help other areas?
It is vital. The arts have been typically underfunded for most of the time. So we need people to come. We need people to come buy a ticket. We need people to come to the performances. We need corporate support always is very helpful. We have support from our city and our county, and that's extremely important to us. So but programming is our corporate sponsorships are really, our individual and corporate sponsorships are really the backbone of what keeps us alive. And we're so fortunate that the people in our region believe in the theater and know that it's really important in people's lives.
Is there something, what is it about small local theater that we may not recognize, or that we might as a general public?
I tell you what, probably having our local theater group in there right now, I'm kind of getting chills talking about it. Oh. So they practice from 5 o'clock in the afternoon till 10 o'clock at night. So at 10:15 last night, they're doing the Music Man, and to see the kids in there and the relationships and the life skills that local theater teaches them, having put something together, they have been practicing for 6 months, and then they move into the theater like 2 weeks before the performances. And to be able to watch that day by day and see how that grows, and people, and we see the kids that come in here. We had Junie B. Jones there last week, and we had 3 shows, and we had almost 2,000 people at the theater in one day. And a lot of the kids, it was the first time they'd ever been in the theater. They're little, they can't believe it. So, the importance of that and art and the things that something local can bring to a community is really invaluable. And that's the feel good stuff. Also, the thing is, it's a huge economic driver for your city. People are coming to see shows and see live entertainment, and then they're spending time in your city and eating at your restaurants and shopping in your shops and doing the things that, we all want.
Margaret, I cannot thank you enough for your time that you've given us today to
Sure.
share a little bit more about the Alhambra Theater there in Hopkinsville. So if you're looking for a quick little getaway somewhere to go, that's the spot for you.
Absolutely.
How can we track what shows you have?
It's really easy. So we're on social a lot, Alhambra Theater. Also, our website is very robust, and you can buy tickets or do anything there, and it's pennyroyalarts.org.
Fantastic. Thank you again, Margaret.
Thank you very much.
Stick with us. We have more coming up here on Mornings on Main Street right after this.
There's a lot to consider when it comes to choosing a Medicare plan. That's where Health Markets Insurance Agency can help. Independent licensed insurance agents who work with Health Markets can answer your questions about the different parts of Medicare, when you can enroll, benefits, costs, and more. Speak to a local licensed insurance agent today to get started on your Medicare journey.
At Miss Lou Steele's, we go for apple pie. A place that feels like a home away from home. A comfortable place to bring your family from out of town. It's a place where great conversations are had. It's a place where you can shop 200 small businesses in one location. It's a place for you to shop for gifts for any occasion or just to treat yourself. Come on down to Miss Lou Steele's. You'll be glad you did.
Welcome back. We have a birthday shout out today. Happy birthday, Bob King of Lebanon, Tennessee. Your daughter Shelly sent in your birthday to us. We hope you have the absolute best day. And again, happy birthday. All right, let's take a look at our national days today. One is National Read Across America Day. Today is the birthday of children's book author Dr. Seuss. So what better way today to celebrate than to read One Fish, Two Fish, Red Fish, Blue Fish, or maybe Cat in the Hat, Green Eggs and Ham. I always enjoyed green eggs and ham. Also today, it is World Teen Mental Wellness Day. What this day is about, it's time to raise awareness, continued awareness about the mental health and the importance of self-care and what it can do to improve mental wellness. So it's always great to keep check on our family members, young and old, our friends, and making sure that they're all doing okay. Well, thanks again for joining us here on Mornings on Main Street. We hope you have the best rest of the day. We will see you back here tomorrow on Friday. And remember, it's always a good day to have a good day.